I'm like a greyhound.
People. Yeah.
Only I'm not a dog and I'm not a greyhound at all. Serendipitously sit down and start, and the episode starts when I say Mark Rambo Weebs. My name is Cole, his name is Mike, his name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 119 of the Anime Protagonist podcast.
Holy crap.
This is the episode you've literally all been waiting for. This is the
they asked for this one.
You literally can't stop bugging us about it.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah, you caused this to happen.
And now we're gonna trash on your favorite show, and how's that gonna feel?
Well, maybe not, though.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Tune into the second half to find out.
We're going to review Link Click. Can I say what we're going to do? We're reviewing Link Click.
I mean,
what was that?
Want, yeah.
We're reviewing 2 seasons of Link Click, and an OVA was thrown in there just for good measure.
Yeah, Crunchyroll just like slid it in because it's technically episode 5. We'll talk about it later.
We will talk about it later because I don't
24
really understand.
episodes of Link Click.
That's right. Link Click.
You heard it here first.
We're linking, we're clinking, we're talking anime.
Dinkin'.
We're slapping hands.
That's right.
We're slapping slaps. Imagine 2 pieces of ham slapping up against each other. That's what we're doing on this week's episode of AniPro.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you're how you start the episode without warning, and I made a mistake I actually turned off the feature where it does a countdown in our studio.
Oh, that's why there was no countdown.
Yeah, and I realized that just enables you even more to do your favorite thing, which you've been doing since the beginning of the podcast.
Well, literally since episode 1.
Surprising us.
Yeah.
Literally since episode 1. Cole loves to surprise us with a recording, and now he can actually do it where, like, if I'm not paying attention, if I'm not looking at the screen at the instant he starts recording, I have no idea.
Well, Mike...
You're sneaky little devil.
Mike, much like our listeners, you did this to yourself. You turned the countdown
I did play
off.
I know. I acknowledge my idiocy.
I was just
I wouldn't call it an idiocy. I would call it
a kink.
yeah,
a quirk,
a kink,
if you would.
Yeah.
Cole, can I ask future you to bleep something out real quick?
You can try.
All right. A cum stain.
What?
Jay, you're off your rocker today. I'll tell you that.
You weren't here for the context.
Jay today.
It's the listeners who should be confused.
Well, and I'm sure they are.
Yeah, just like us.
Just like us. No, yes, there was context. Previous context, which I'm assuming will come up in the review. But yeah. I do think it's important to. Like it's gonna be a fun episode, everybody. It's gonna be a fun episode. We're gonna have fun here, but I do think that we need to address something that happened. Would have been last week, as of the release of this episode. The world lost Akira Toriyama. Unfortunately, 68 years old. Created Dragon Ball. Was instrumental in things like Dragon Quest. Chrono Trigger. Yeah. So I thought, maybe we could talk about his legacy. Like, I mean, I can surmise his legacy with just being like, ultra influential.
Yeah.
Like he influenced. I mean, you looked at all of the stuff that came out from different creators talking about his influence on them, and. I think that would be
that's probably where I was gonna go with it too. Is like reading through all these mangakas and all these people's like takes is the wrong word, but like messages to him. And now that he's gone, it really became clear like how much Dragon Ball and Akira Toriyama just influenced the world and like basically changed the game for anime and manga. Like I think it was Ichiro Oda that was saying like when he was a kid before Dragon Ball, like nobody took manga seriously. It was just like basically just for kids, like a fun little, like a kid show. Like I guess how like my grandma and grandpa consider anime. Like it's just a kid's show, right? And then Dragon Ball kind of made it popular for all ages.
I remember seeing a page, like the front cover of an issue of Shonen Jump before Dr. Slump came out, and like they all look like basically the same. He's kind of the one that like revolutionized manga in terms of art and that creative dynamic art style. Because before everything kind of looked like Astro Boy and Tezuka, but like after Dr. Slump, like manga started having its own style. Everyone started having their own unique flavor on it.
Yeah, he broke the chains.
He broke the trend.
Yeah, he kind of came in and just like said, I'm just gonna do my own thing. Yeah. And then like it's so his designs are so iconic, man. Like you look at any of the things, Dragon Ball, Chrono Trigger, all that stuff, and it's just like the designs are so good. And like that Dragon Ball get up with the gi or the orange jumpsuit, you know, like it's just iconic.
I love how one of the most iconic power-ups came to be because he didn't want to ink Goku's hair anymore.
What? What?
Well,
so the Super Saiyan?
Yeah, Super Saiyan.
Yeah, you have to explain.
So he was too lazy to color in Goku's hair for a chapter. So he was like, I'm just going to keep it white and explain that it's a power up. And that's how Super Saiyans came to be.
There we go. We learned something today.
Sure. Yeah, I did never heard that before. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, and I think like even the Japanese government came out and they talked about how important he was spreading Japanese culture around the world. Like he transcended, I think, manga and anime.
For sure.
He sure did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it's funny that you bring that up because I actually saw the Chinese government put out a statement on like respecting like how what a loss this is, and that's they don't historically get along, those two countries. It shows that he transcends.
Well, I mean, Dragon Ball was very influenced by like Chinese
martial arts movies
and stories. I mean, like it's based on that.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact name of it, but yeah, it's
there was also a meme going around too that like Mexican cartel activity decreased when like every time episode of Dragon Ball Super aired, and then apparently like there's a joke going around that there was a ceasefire to honor Akira Toriyama.
I saw a tweet going out like comfort your nearest Mexican friend.
No, and I mean that just goes to show like the worldwide influence of it as well, right? Like it's a meme that it's like Dragon Ball is so influential in other cultures without it's just
we wouldn't be here without Dragon Ball. There's no way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. So I thought
specifically Z, but yeah.
Well, I mean Dragon Ball and
the thing that's nuts is like how much like it's not even just manga and anime that he influenced, but like Sakaguchi came out, the creator of Final Fantasy, and said that like if not for Dragon Quest and Akira Toriyama's eventual designs, Final Fantasy probably wouldn't have happened.
Cloud Strife is like straight up a ripoff of Goku's character design,
pretty much
like Super Saiyan mode.
Yeah,
honestly.
Like there's a lot of stuff, both like artistically and creatively that wouldn't have come to be without him. It's insane, and the amount like the reach he's had, like people in like I'm a wrestling fan, and like I've seen a lot of people in the wrestling community come out and say like I've been a big fan.
A lot of overlap. Yeah,
I've been a big fan of Dragon Ball since I was a kid, and that was wild.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Jay made it was just kind of a toss away comment you made in the Discord, and it was the in memoriam at the end of Dragon Ball Daima is gonna hit.
It's gonna hit.
Yeah. It's
and maybe even like, Sandland.
Yeah, Sandland as well. Like that game's coming out soon.
Game's coming out. The TV series is coming out soon.
Yeah. There was a lot of projects in the work for him, and
it's kind of sad because he just kind of felt like he was kind of having a second like a resurgence lately. Like it seemed like Dragon Ball Z and stuff kind of died off for a bit there.
Yeah,
and it
coming
felt like
back.
he was getting into a new wave, and then this hits.
Yeah. It's sad.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think of when I was a little kid playing on the trampoline, me and my friends throwing Kamehamehas at each other and going Super Saiyan. And,
oh yeah.
It's just a piece of my childhood died last week.
Yeah, I remember.
Sad. I'm actually getting a little misty-eyed thinking about it.
I remember as a kid, my cousin and I went to the hospital to visit a family member, and like at that hospital, there's like this huge vent that just like blows like a lot of air upward. So my cousin and I would like stand on the vent and like shout as if we're powering up, and because of how powerful the vent was, like our hair would be blowing, so it would look like we're powering up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the,
as you do,
that's one of the things I think about. But yeah, even though I didn't really watch much Dragon Ball growing up, like I still like spent like a good hour just like staring at my ceiling being like, damn.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I think it's so influential. And whether you were a Dragon Ball fan or not, I think you just have to
acknowledge
he's beloved. Beloved, and
and the
huge loss.
The gravity of his influence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm finally gonna play Chrono Trigger now.
It's really good.
This is my sign. I know. I'm finally gonna play it.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We miss you, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah. Agreed. I just thought we should.
We should acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it. Talk about the sad stuff so that we can move on and talk about stuff that was possibly
you're doing popcorn bucket that I see right behind you there.
I was gonna say before we move on.
Well, I do have Final Fantasy here as well, so I mean maybe that's a little more related. But,
related.
I noticed you also have the Dune Blu-ray next to your popcorn bucket.
Listen, I've got my background set up.
To bookend the segue, there's a Japanese thing that says like don't worry about don't focus too much on the fact that it's over. Revel in the moments that you had.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the beautiful thing about art. Even when we lose somebody, we don't really lose them because all of their art that they created is still here for us to enjoy. So
here forever.
Yeah.
Nicely said.
Yeah. But Dune. Dune in my popcorn bucket.
Yeah, Cole's been obsessing over Dune for the last 2 weeks now. Tell us about it.
2 weeks. I have seen Dune 2, more Dune, even more Dune now in Dune 2. I've seen it more times than I can possibly count. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
And you've read the book?
I have read the book, yeah. And I mean, there's possibly going to be, the third movie is in the works, which is going to be an adaptation of Dune Messiah, which is exciting.
I don't know. You haven't read Messiah, have you, Cole? I listened to it. But
I've been listening to bits and pieces. Like, I know the story of it. You know me. But I haven't really gone through the actual like experience of reading it or listening to it in audiobook
I feel like Dune 1 and 2, like the two movies that have come out so far, are kind of the peak for a movie going experience. I think it gets into a lot harder sci-fi.
It gets
going forward.
Dune 2 is weird. Like there's some weird stuff that happens in there. Like a lot more like mysticism.
Yeah.
Like characters come back to life and it's a little hard, more mystic sci-fi. Whereas Dune 1 is kind of more of a political thriller almost. Yeah.
I think it goes back to the more political stuff from what I've seen going forward. But Dune's great. I'm really excited to I haven't seen it yet, and I really should.
And you got to see it before they take it out of the IMAXs and the AVEX theaters.
I know.
Because
I really want to go see it, but
there's nothing like it.
3 hours long, man. 3 hours long, man.
That's fine.
That's kind of becoming the standard for movies nowadays.
I know, and I don't like it.
Here's the thing, though. With that 3 hours, it's paced so well.
In my
opinion,
Oppenheimer.
It goes by fast. Like, even I'm joking. I only saw it twice. I can count to 2. Even the second time I saw it, it was still like good, even knowing what was happening. And I think a big part of it is just being able to see it on a big screen with like a good sound system. Like your chair is rumbling just from like the sound.
Yeah. The sound, yeah.
One of the best things about people underestimate how like important audio is to the movie going experience, and that's really what makes theaters so special is the audio is so incredible.
Yeah. Well, even like at home, if I'm sitting down and I'm watching a movie, lights off, sound up, like loud.
Yeah.
I listen to movies loud. Because it's important. You have to like immerse yourself in the whole thing.
That's what I like about movies.
Yeah.
Movies are kind of like they're like almost like a roller coaster ride that you just sit down and you just go on the ride, you know?
I am excited when I finally get, like, this will be months down the road, but when I get the Blu-ray for Dune Part 2, being able to watch them back to back. Yeah. That'll be a ride.
I'm curious if they'll like do an all-in-one edition where it's just both of them.
I don't know. And like, there's a lot of scenes that were cut and people are calling for like, we want the extended edition,
like the Snyder cut, essentially,
or the Lord of the Rings extended edition. Denis Villeneuve is famous for like, he doesn't like releasing
director's cuts.
Extended cuts.
Yeah, because he's like, well, I made the movie for theatrical release. This is the movie. This is what it is, which I appreciate that.
I respect that.
I respect that. But he's like,
also take that cash, take that bag, guy.
Yeah, get it. Get that money. You know, he's representing Canada well. He's like the most famous filmmaker right now, whose name I can't pronounce. And he's Canadian.
Into the soundboard is like just like a quick like 2-second clip of "Oh Canada" every time we bring up Canada. I'm surprised we don't have that yet.
And I mean, great marketing for the Dune, the
genius.
Yeah,
the popcorn bucket.
When I saw it opening night, I wasn't going to get it, and I saw somebody else grab one, and I'm like, I need one.
It's worth the meme,
so
right?
I grabbed it, and now like, it's just, look at that thing. It's so stupid, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
I have it behind me for the audio onlys. It's on my display.
I did see someone repurpose it into a Kleenex holder that they keep by their desk. Something to consider, Cole.
Checks out.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. But I like it behind. I like having stuff like that behind me. Yeah. So that's been on my mind.
Big sandworms behind you.
Yeah, that's been on my mind recently. Yeah, Mike, you got to go see it. And Jay. I mean, did you see the first one?
I haven't seen the first one.
I was just gonna say, I bet you he hasn't seen the first
one.
No, not a sci-fi guy.
I'm not. I'm kind of curious though, because like I keep hearing people say like, "Oh, it's fantastic," and you know, like I like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, there's like it's. I think you'd probably like it more than you think you would. Yeah. The first one is slower, but you have to realize the first one is like set up. It's the first half of this larger story.
It's the first half of a book, right? Like,
hey man, I am the brain dead monkey of the podcast, and if I wasn't bored for a second during the first one, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I would say watch the first one specifically so you could experience the second one. And that's what it is. It's an experience. It's a ride. I love it. It's so good. I can't wait for Mike to see it. And I can't wait to sit Jay down in the chair and make him watch it.
Speaking of making people sit in chairs and watch things, I am looking forward to a movie coming out this month, and I think both of you know what it is. It's the double feature for Bunny Girl Senpai.
Right. I forgot.
Yes.
Just coming out.
Forgore.
I think we're recording that day, which kind of sucks, but
we'll figure something out. Isn't it? They're doing 2 nights here, and
they're doing 2 nights. The 2 nights are the dub and the sub. So the sub is on the day we're recording.
And Jay will not watch the
dub. And
then
the dub is the day after.
Also, how hype is it that Bunny Girl Senpai's getting a dub after all these years? That's cool.
So we know that the movies are getting a dub. We don't know if the show is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It'll get it. It'll get
it.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah, they wouldn't dub just the movies if they.
I don't know. Gintama got like one random season get a dub.
Gintama has 300 something episodes though.
Yeah. Nah, if Crunchyroll's doing the dub for the movie, then yeah, I'm sure that they'll go back.
They're getting that bag. They're getting the money.
They'll do it.
I just remember back when the Blu-ray came out and it said like in English for audio, and everyone was freaking out that it was getting a dub, and then it was like a false alarm because it was a misprint.
Fools.
Absolute
fools.
Those foolish Bunny Girl Senpai fans. So you're excited for this movie? Is it like what is it anyway? I don't know anything about Bunny Girl Senpai.
It's kind of like Monogatari, but lesser.
Yeah. That was a shot
at That was a shot at it, Jay. Defend your show.
More specifically, these movies.
It focuses a lot more on like adolescence and growing up, and it uses the power, like the supernatural aspect to symbolize to symbolize like what their own mental hangups are. So the movies, it's basically just like a continuation of the show. The last movie that came out was books 5 and 6, and then I think this is book 8 and 9. 8 and 9, I think.
Yeah, it checks out.
Okay,
he did the research.
Or 7 and 8. I don't remember. I'll have to. I'm really excited though because I've already read both of them, and Knapsack Kid in particular is one of my favorite stories. So I'm very excited. And everyone's back. Everything is going to be as
I'm excited for the scene where everybody like gathers around and they all like worship the main character as their Lisan Al Gaib. That's my favorite part of. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Dune again. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm excited for the scene where they all get together and like the main character sits in the middle of them in like a chair, and they all clap and say congratulations. You are the bunny girl senpai.
Yeah. You are the bunny girl senpai.
And then the credit, and then it cuts to credits. Like,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
But so, have they announced the runtime of these movies yet? Because I'm curious. Because I feel like is it going to be like 2 45-minute movies? Is that why it's like a double feature?
No, I think it's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, double features. That's long. I'm surprised they're doing a double feature. Is there an intermission?
So that's
in
going to
between?
be 3 hours of anime in the theater.
It is like 3 hours of anime in the theater. I
have fun.
Look, man, it's my favorite anime series, so I'm not.
No, that's great. That's great. Hey, it's like Cole with Dune, right?
Yeah.
You're there. This is what you live for.
I've sat down and I've watched the 3 Lord of the Rings extended editions
back to back.
I can do it. Mike and I did a Star Wars marathon once. I remember.
I think I've done that before too. Like years ago. I was much more into Star Wars as a kid than I am now.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like I know we've talked about it before, and Cole, I know I mocked you when we were watching episode 8 in theater, and you said it was the death of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have mocked you, because it kind of that and 9 kind of killed it for me a little bit. It hurts me to say it, but it really did.
I still love the original trilogy, and I have a newfound respect for the prequels after the sequel trilogy.
Okay, it's about 2.5 hours, by the way.
Yeah, I was looking into it too. It's Knapsack Kid and Sister Venturing Out. So it's
2 hours.
Each are about an hour and 15 minutes, including credits.
Yeah.
So it'll be.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Once it gets to the 3-hour mark, that's where I really get a little irritable and my bladder gets a little too full for me to be comfortable.
Well, Mike, I'm going to drag you to this movie like you guys dragged me to what was the movie?
When is it?
It was on the 24th.
What movie did we drag him to?
Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When is it?
I regret
the
nothing.
Premiere?
On the 24th of March.
Oh, I won't be in the city at that. Okay.
Are we recording that day?
Well, yes. Never mind. Yep. I get back that morning.
Yeah. Well,
we're recording.
We'll have to figure that out.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that off air. Is there anything, Mike, you've been watching or you're excited to watch?
I recently started watching, because I was playing on my Steam Deck. I was playing Pokemon Coliseum, and I like to play games like that with like something I can kind of watch in the background, but not have to pay too much attention to. If that makes sense. And anime generally is not great for that unless you're watching like a long running shonen or something.
Right.
But I chose for my time during this game was I was going to watch this 3rd season of The Witcher.
Okay.
I don't know if either of you guys watched The Witcher.
I watched the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. So I did the same. I watched the first 2 seasons, then I kind of realized, I never watched the 3rd season. And I've been going through that. It's more of the good Witcher fun. Yeah. It's great. It did make me sad though, because Shazana pointed out to me, she's like, "Are you a little sad?" And I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because it's not Henry Cavill as Geralt anymore. It's Liam Hemsworth next season."
Oh, I was gonna say.
And if you've seen the pictures, man, it just does not.
It doesn't hit the same. Yeah.
I was gonna laugh at you because I thought you meant like it's no longer Henry Cavill in season 3, and you just haven't noticed.
Oh no. There's no way you don't notice that.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like,
didn't he
left the show for Superman, and then Superman got canceled.
Yeah.
So it's like extra sting for him because he also apparently left because they were trying to go away from like
the original source material.
And he's a heavy nerd, by the way.
He like
knows like
he's a big
Warhammer and stuff.
Yeah.
And
he has like a very like powerful gaming PC.
So do I.
That he built himself apparently too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I have a very powerful gaming PC,
which is why we
but we're weak, Cole.
are getting him on the show next week.
Wow!
Oh.
Don't.
Thanks for reaching out to him, Jake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
thanks.
no problem.
I'm surprised he said yes.
Yeah, it was weird.
The
Rascal does not dream of Jay venturing out is next week's episode.
The other show that I wanted to mention just briefly was Shogun has been great as well. Have either of you been watching that?
I've been meaning to watch that.
Yeah,
no.
It's been good. Like similar to like something like Game of Thrones, or I'm assuming The Witcher. Like it really strives and excels in its production design. The costumes, the sets and everything are just great. I'm not necessarily sold per se on like some of the subtle changes that they make to the story. From the book,
like listen to the book or something.
Yeah, I've been listening to the audiobook.
Okay,
but I mean, I understand why the changes were made. When you're adapting something, subtle changes have to be made. Yeah. So we'll see. It seems they're being pretty liberal with some of the changes, but that could just be as long as they get to the same endpoint. That's the important thing, which would be.
I almost wonder if like you should have just watched it without reading it and then read it after.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know me though. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, I need more right now.
I need to know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Which is something I'm going to bring up later in the review, I think, a little bit.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I guess just to wrap this silly little segment up, Final Fantasy Rebirth came out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel now that you're further in? Has your opinion on the voice acting changed?
I went back to the dub. I don't know what it is. It's like early, because I remember having the same issue with the first one. It's like early game is like weird. But then like once it starts getting a little bit more,
I think it's just because maybe you're used to like anime voice acting, and maybe it just takes like a minute for your brain to adjust to the different style a little bit.
Possibly. But now
like it's just a bit of like whiplash kind of.
Maybe. Yeah. But now that we're in the game and like stuff's happening, I can it's not bothering me as much, so I went back to English. Except for Kate Sith's voice in English is atrocious. They gave him like
it's just not it.
They gave him like a Scottish accent and I hate it.
I guess that makes sense because it is a Scottish name.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about Kate Sith because like it's where things get it's a weird character to adapt into like a 3D realistic game. But it seems like they've done okay.
I mean, the game's doing well. I mean, everybody likes it. It is weird though that and he's playable. Like he's a playable character.
Yeah, he's playable in the original too.
But I mean, like, you know, it's a button mashing combat game. Whereas the first one was, you know, like turn-based.
Yeah, standard turn-based RPG.
Yeah, now it's, But it's a fun game. Fun game. Everybody go get it.
I agree.
You got to go get it. You know, you got to support this.
I still got to play the DLC for the first one. Best Girl Yuffie DLC. She's not Best Girl.
No, she's not Best Girl. But she is the most fun to play as.
Tifa's a badass
because she's like a ninja, right?
Yeah, Yuffie's got
Tifa's fun to play as too.
Yeah, but Yuffie's got like the great like she can do range attacks and up close. She's just so fun to play. Yeah, and I do like Yuffie, but yeah, Tifa's probably.
I feel like she's a solid like there. You know what? Every character in that game's great.
Yeah,
but like Tifa is next level.
Yeah, Tifa and Barrett are top 2. Yeah,
Barrett's great too.
I like Barrett.
You don't like you don't like Mr. T? I mean Barrett. He's like clearly a Mr. T ripoff.
Yeah. You know what? No, I do like Barrett. I like how he's got that gruff exterior, but he's just a father.
He's just a nice got his kid. Yeah,
just like a big old bear.
Big old bear he's a big old Care Bear with a gun on his arm.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's always funny when you see someone with like a gun, like literally attached to their arm. It's like, do you sleep with that?
Yeah.
Like you go to the bathroom and
it's like, how do you climb up these ladders? How do you climb up these ropes?
With great difficulty. How does he maintain 3-point contact? Osh would not approve of that.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They would not.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else you want to just throw in before we dive?
So are we doing mailbag then the thing we were teasing? I don't remember what the order is here. Cole, help me out.
Do you want to tease? Do you want to tease and then we'll do mailbag?
Yeah.
Tease.
Yeah.
Tease and then we'll reveal.
Tease and then we'll reveal right before the break. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be listeners, we're trying to help you out a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're going to start putting out like our next 4 reviews at a time. We're going to put out like our reviews, and then we'll put out a listener's choice. We've already announced 2, right? We're doing Link Click, which won the listener's choice this episode. You knew that already.
Yeah.
And then if you forgot, we're doing Jay's review next, which is Jay.
Girls Last Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm going to announce, I'm the next on the list. Mm-hmm. So this week I'll announce mine, and then next week Cole will announce his. But I'm going to tell you guys about the next show after Girls Last Tour we're going to watch. It came out in the 90s.
Okay.
The episode duration is 29 minutes.
Okay.
The source is a manga.
Okay.
The genres are adventure, comedy, and ecchi.
Okay.
Tags include seinen, episodic, satire, work, and male protagonist. Okay. It is a beloved classic anime. Okay. And I've been meaning to watch it for a long time, and I'm looking forward to watching it with you guys. I think it'll be a funny review.
I think I might have an idea, but I won't.
Tune in after the mailbag. Stay tuned, and you'll find out in about 10-ish minutes.
Stay tuned for this.
It's time for the mailbag.
It's mailbag time. If you've got a mailbag question, you can send it on our Discord or on our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag. This is a patron priority mailbag. Wee woo. From Super Mexi. And I thought this would be an interesting one because we love our OPs here at AniPro. We love them. What studio produces the best OPs? In my opinion, it has to be MAPPA. Yuri on Ice, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, etc. So, thank you, Super Mexi. Do you guys have a studio that you think produces just banging OPs?
He hit the nail on the head with MAPPA. Like they clearly have someone there who knows that a good anime OP will get someone to watch a show just based solely on how good the OP is. Yeah, and like even MAPPA's like semi-okay shows have great OPs, and their great shows have fantastic OPs. So I think MAPPA's probably got to be the objectively correct answer here.
MAPPA does good OPs.
Even though there's no such thing as objective in this, but they definitely put more effort into OPs than a lot of the other studios do, I would say.
Yeah, they do good OPs. Jay, do you have an answer?
My answer was A1 Pictures, but I feel like that's kind of unfair because they have so many shows.
Well, I mean,
yeah, but like they have a lot of good shows.
But like, they have like a lot of Sawano's stuff. Technically,
just the Sword Art Online OPs and
all the Sword Art Online OPs. Right. Technically, Cloverworks was once A1 Pictures.
You can't include Cloverworks in it as well.
No, that's cheating.
That's cheating. But I will say Bocchi the Rock has a great OP.
It does.
Yeah. Sword Art Online, Your Lie in April, Erased.
Yeah.
Kaguya-sama. Yeah.
Good OPs.
Wotakoi. Oh, good gravy.
Good.
Gate.
Good God. Holy moly. Hold on.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like the solo leveling OP.
Darling in the Franxx. Yeah, the solo leveling OP is good. I know Jay's down on it because it's K-pop, but it's good.
Do you have like a vendetta?
I never said I hated it. The one that everyone's like going nuts about right now is the Mashal one. That's A1.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Great OP.
Yeah.
Show I'm not interested in watching. But.
Yeah, but the OP is definitely popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You guys saw this
it's a
coming.
tough one. It's hard to.
No.
Oh, okay.
You guys saw this one coming
Shaft,
from. Yeah,
probably.
it's Shaft. Yeah, Shaft has got some
Weak.
great OP. What do you mean weak? Go and watch all the Monogatari OPs, the March Comes in Like a Lion OPs. That one show that we reviewed that I can't remember had a banging OP. You guys can't deny that. Pretty Boy Detective Club.
That's
Madoka Magica. I'm scrolling.
It's not a good sign when you have to scroll.
Well, it's because there's a lot of shows that like you guys wouldn't know. Well, Nisekoi. Jay knows Nisekoi. Yeah.
I think the first Nisekoi OP is better than the second one, but
yeah, and that's fine.
That's just taste though. I mean, you can not love an OP but still admit that it's got like a good song and good visuals and stuff, right?
Yeah. And if Jay can include Bocchi the Rock.
I said that as a joke.
Then I'm gonna include Call of the Night because that director was related to Shaft. A director
and a studio are two completely different things.
I mean, hey, if we're just gonna make up the rules as we go along, Jay, then I'm gonna do that too.
We literally do make up the rules. We do. We go along. That is what we do here.
No, I'm going. I'd say Shaft would probably be one. I also do want to throw out KyoAni. They always do nice OPs.
Yeah.
Or they have recently. I don't like their older OPs because they had this thing of doing character cards in the OPs, which I find really corny. And they would always do that. Like, go watch like the Clannad OPs, or even Sound Euphonium does it in the first OP. It's so cheesy, and I mean, whatever. I'm nitpicking, but like, think about something. Well, I mean, Dragon Maid, K-On. Well, K-On, the second K-On OP. The first one does the character card thing, which bothers me. Or
it just seems lazy. The cards,
right? Violet Evergarden's got a gorgeous OP. I'd say KyoAni too deserves to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Do you guys have honorable mentions as well?
I have a hard time
probably
like
Madhouse.
The studios.
Like
Madhouse is okay.
The Death Note one is iconic. Like, as much as Cole doesn't like it, like everyone knows.
Yeah, I mean, it's iconic OP. Though.
All of the Overlord OPs.
Yeah, Cardcaptor Sakura OPs are always
Sakura.
Yeah, good. The free run OPs.
I throw Wit out there too.
Yeah.
Wit, yeah.
Wit does some good OPs. The old Attack on Titans, Ranking of Kings.
I would say the Attack on
songs or whatever.
The
Vinland Saga's
OPs,
first OP.
Vinland Saga, yeah.
I would say the Wit OPs for Attack on Titan are more iconic than the Mappa ones.
Yeah,
more iconic, but I think as a mature Attack on Titan fan, I prefer the Mappa ones.
Yeah, but you're a Mappa stan.
Yeah, you're a Mappa
I'm a Mappa stan though. Oh,
I do like
when you said Madhouse too, you forgot the Hunter x Hunter OP. How do you forget that?
Yeah,
One Punch Man.
All the free ones.
Death Parade.
Yeah.
Death Parade's great. Yeah.
No Game, No Life.
Shaft Code, did you say Monogatari series too?
I said that was the first thing I said.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I said all the Monogatari OPs.
Those are banging. Yeah, banging.
All of them.
Parasite.
What's your listener? Tell us what your favorite anime OP is. Tell us either if you're watching on YouTube, comment it here, or tell us in the podcast discussion channel. It's on our Discord. Links in the description.
Mm-hmm. Join our Discord, please. We need you. We
miss you.
Yes.
You're our only hope.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Now, Michael, you teased something before we went into this segment, and I would very much like to know what it was.
You want me to tell you what it is?
Yes, please.
Hang on, let me pull it back up.
Okay.
Do you guys have any guesses?
I do, but
no, wait. We said we're not doing the guesses.
We won't
anymore.
guess. I'll just tell you if I was right.
No more guessing.
And I'm always right.
So it's an older OVA from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's one of the funnier ones. It's a lot of fun. Is what I've heard, and it's beloved, I would say, for being just kind of fun, etchy romp. And we've been reviewing a lot of long shows lately, so I decided to pick a shorter one for us.
Thank you.
And I decided to select a 6-episode OVA from the 90s.
I don't know what it is.
Golden Boy.
Okay.
So the synopsis is, Kintaro doesn't look like it, but he's a genius who completed all his university courses and then quit before graduating. He becomes a wandering student, going from place to place on his bicycle, seeking to learn what he can learn about life, seeking to learn what he can about life, the world, and women. He is willing and able to do any job he has to prove himself. His travels take him to a variety of locations and a variety of women, each who learns to love the hardworking guy, but not before he can run away. I don't know. I've just always heard this is like one of the funnier animes, and it's a nice, short, fun little romp we're going to have here. And
yeah, no, I appreciate it. I thought you were going to say great teacher
Onizuka. Yeah, that's in the same camp as this one.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's also incredible, but I think it's long.
It is very
like
long.
50 episodes
is
or
it?
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. It's I've never like gone out and seeked watching this one, but I don't know why. Like I think this will be a fun one. I like it.
Yeah, and I will say that I did do the smart thing that I don't often do, and I did check, and it is available on Crunchyroll, so you can watch this one on Crunchyroll. I think Girls Last Tour you can watch on Crunchyroll. I definitely Link Quick you can watch. Oh, it's High Dive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope they watched Link Click on Crunchyroll, because we're going to review it today.
Yeah, if they haven't, first bit's spoiler free, but we're going to have to talk spoilers for this one, boys.
Yeah. But we'll do that after the break, I think.
We'll warn them before.
We'll warn them. We'll warn them. So just a quick rundown of the reviews we've got coming up. We've got Girls Last Tour, which will be our next review. And now we've also got Golden Boy, which will be a review. And our next manga review is Ruridragon. And do we have any other reviews that maybe we could possibly tease here? Maybe we'll do it in the next episode or two.
Oh, yes, there is.
Okay, then that's a yes. We've got a movie review coming up. We're gonna start reviewing movies, which are a little bit easier, and they'll be a little bit more of a surprise. But I think it'll be next week. We're gonna review.
I think so.
Next week we're going to review Princess Mononoke. Classic movie. So for the two people and Jay who have never seen Princess Mononoke, you've got a week to watch it, and we'll be reviewing that next week. And also next week, I guess I've got to come up with a review, to review.
You do.
So
or
I'll
else.
do that.
Or
else.
Maybe I'll pick one and reveal it after the break. I've committed to it, and now I will.
Whoa,
3
reveals in one episode?
Whoa!
What is going on?
It's not enough. More
if you want to keep track of all of this, we'll have a link in the description probably, or on our Discord, join our Discord.
We're going to put it in
all over the place.
Yeah. We'll have it everywhere.
So you can be up to date on what's happening, when it's happening, and when you can find us.
And
on the
where you can find us
and
physically.
Where you can find us. Yeah.
Physically, you can find me at...
We're going to dox ourselves.
I'm not going to do it this time. Okay.
Before Cole doxes himself, let's go to a break.
I got a new butt.
Whoa.
Crack in it.
I think that's a good joke to start on. Welcome back to the Anime Protagonist Podcast. It's time to review Link Click, but first, you know what? I'm just gonna... Here. I'll give you guys some hints for what I want to review next, and then before the spoiler section, I'll reveal it.
You kind of like put a lot of pressure on yourself, where you're like, you know what? I'm going to come up with something after the break. And then you're like, oh, crap. Now I have to do this immediately.
And then I did. And it's all good.
And then he did.
Yep.
And then I did
5 seconds. Instantly.
That's right.
It was pretty quick. It was
He's
pretty
a very
quick.
smart boy.
He's so smart, especially when he wears his glasses. Glasses make you 25% smarter, they say.
They do say that. Okay, so the next show that I'm proposing to you gentlemen, it's a newer show.
Okay.
12 episodes, thank goodness. 24-minute episodes. It came out in 2018.
Okay, good year for anime.
2018. It's sitting at a nice average score of 81%. It's based on a manga. Genres: comedy, slice of life. And the tags are outdoor, Iyashike, which is like healing anime. And cute girls doing cute things.
I can see Jay typing.
Yeah.
I think I know what it is. I have a feeling, but I don't know what year it came out. Have you seen this anime, Cole?
I have.
Okay, I think I know what it is.
Yeah. So I'll reveal it after this review because now it's time.
We'll reveal it before we get into the spoiler section, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what we'll do.
There'll be a timestamp in the description too if you want to.
You'll also get if you're watching this on video, you get sirens in the top corner and then like text sliding up that says spoilers alert.
Is that true?
It's true.
It's true. I don't watch our videos.
No,
I do listen to us.
That hurts me.
Well, I mean,
hurts me.
And then you'll get I do put a spoiler just floating across the screen from right to left.
I haven't done that in a long time. I don't know if I still have the PNG, to be honest with you. We'll find out. Or the pung, as people say.
The pung. We're
it's
reviewing
like GIF and GIF.
It's pronounced GIF. We're reviewing Link Click, 2 seasons of it, and an OVA.
That's right.
Which shouldn't be an OVA.
They demanded that we review it, and then they demanded that we review 2 seasons.
They did.
Yes.
They did.
Very aggressive listeners. Demanding that we do so much.
I appreciate it. Just tell me what to do. Point me, and I will go.
I'm like a greyhound.
People. Yeah.
Only I'm not a dog, and I'm not a greyhound at all. I have no
you actually don't like being told what to do.
Honestly, I have no traits that are similar to being a greyhound at all.
Yeah, you're like a greyhound in the way that you're nothing like a greyhound.
That's right.
You're a greyhound if greyhounds had free will.
Yeah,
exactly. Free will is an illusion.
I mean, it really is.
Well, I mean,
we're all slaves to the capitalist.
We're all slaves to the simulation.
We're all slaves to the unfeeling universe.
And Cole's whims.
What?
I had suggested this one. I had nominated this for a listener's choice back in whenever we did that.
Many moons ago.
Won many moons ago. And it was there was a bit of a movement within our Discord community where they managed to make this win unanimously on all platforms. So the people wanted this. So if you haven't watched it, basically what this premise of Link Click is, first of all, it's not anime. It's actually a donghua, which is a term I learned just very recently because that's just basically the word for Chinese anime. Same thing, just made in China. And the premise is that there's this like photo shop. It's like a little shop that these 2 guys rent out a space in, and they're under the cover of like, it's like a photo studio where you get your film developed and stuff. And then the real business is that they are able to enter people's past. They're able to time travel by entering into photos, and then they can basically possess the person for that 12-hour span that the photo was taken. And the whole thing revolves around time travel. And I'm not usually a huge fan of time travel, but this one kind of does it well. But and the names are all, I'm just barely getting used to Japanese names.
Listen, let's just say
we've got Cheng Xiaoxi, we've got Lu Guang, and we've got Ching Lu.
There you go.
Chen Ling.
Here's what I'm going to do. Black-haired guy, white-haired guy, girl.
Cheng Xiaoxi, black-haired guy.
Okay.
Lu Guang, white-haired guy.
Okay.
Xiaoling is the girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten.
Yes. It's tough. It's done by Studio Land, came out in 2021, and it's a bit of a sleeper hit show. It's kind of becoming a bit of a cult classic. A lot of people, when I was looking up to this one a little bit, there's a lot of videos of saying that like this is the best anime of 2021, and I was like, oh, what's all the hype about? And we'll see if it lives up to the hype a little bit. And do you guys feel like I missed anything in the brief little synopsis there, or?
No, I think that pretty well sums it up. What I will like say right off the top is what a great and unique premise. Like yes, I do like time traveling in stories if they're done well, and I also like the premise behind the time travel. This is like a cool, like mystical, almost like it's a very supernatural aspect of time travel, which I enjoy. Whereas something like say Steins Gate, which a lot of people compare the two because they're both time travel, Steins Gate is like a science-based time travel. Like they stumbled upon the ability to travel through time. Whereas this is, they have the power to do it.
I like you were kind of alluding to, I feel like I enjoy this style a little better than Steins Gate. And that's like, again, it's just kind of the obvious comparison because it's like the biggest time travel anime.
Yeah.
But I like that they kind of just don't even bother explaining how it works. It just works. Deal with it. But here's how the world, you know, like there are rules to it, but it's very like soft world building where it's kind of like, here's the power. Here's what the rules are. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Don't get bogged down in the details.
Yeah. What I will say is like a big theme of the show is like,
don't change the past.
Don't change the past. It can.
Yes.
One little thing I wish the show did was show the ramification. Well, I guess it does. Never mind. I'm shutting up.
It does.
Yep. We can't. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Cole's alluding to, like really the thing is they can go travel to like, say I'll snap a picture of Cole right now. I could basically, these guys could clap their hands. They go into the picture. They're Cole for the next 12 hours.
Well,
they can
you, because it takes.
It's
it
the
takes
person
who
who
takes
the
the picture. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're me, and then they can do. They really just have to like simulate my life for the next 12 hours because they can't change any of what's called like the key nodes in the plot of the person's life. Like say if in the next 12 hours they died, you can't change that.
Yeah. Right.
So really this show becomes quite traumatic because you can imagine that living out the life of someone and knowing that things are not going to go well. And you basically just have to like go along. You can't do anything. You have to go along for the ride and knowing that you're leading them to something that's not necessarily great. That'd be horrible.
Or not knowing, which is
or not knowing.
Where I would say, so the two main characters, we've got White Hair Kun and Black Hair Kun. And White Hair Kun can look into the photos and he knows what's going to happen. That's his power.
Yeah.
For like, I think it was the next 20 hours, I think he said.
12 hours.
Was it 12? I thought it was 20.
Yeah, it was 12. And then
Xiaoxi.
Just Chang and Lu.
Chang. Chang has the ability to do what we described. So he's the one who actually goes in and possesses, but he doesn't know what's going to happen. So their team, Lu, basically,
the powers kind of work together.
Yeah. So Lu is kind of the coordinator. Yeah.
They have to work together to become or to solve this thing.
Right. And they do that by Lu being the coordinator who kind of he's the guy who has the
guy in the chair.
He's the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
And then Chang,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, Chang is the one who's actually doing the action. He's doing the heavy lifting. Yeah. So a lot of the show is almost, especially the first season, is kind of a conflict between those two. And Lu sometimes maybe holds information back from Chang.
Yeah, because he knows that Chang is super impulsive. So he knows that if he basically has to like hold him back and restrain him from. He's always wanting to help and he always wants to change things and he has to remind him like you can't be doing this. You can't do that.
I think this is a good segue into let's talk about the characters then.
Yes.
And I just want to say I am thankful we watched 2 seasons of this because I hated. It's a strong word. I disliked Chang in the first season.
Yeah.
He annoyed me so much.
Oh, really? I dislike Lu.
No, I dislike Chang because it's like, listen, you need Chang he wanted to change things. He always wanted to change things in the past. And my like from me, I'm the kind of person who's like, these are the rules. I understand that you want to change them.
Yeah.
But there's this line that Lu says, like, these characters, I'm not going to spoil who they are or what specifically, but he says, these people are already dead.
It's already happened.
And that's kind of where I would come from. Like, yes, I understand that you're like upset about it. And I get why he is, because he, in addition to possessing the body, he also feels the emotions of the person.
And gets the memories of them.
So I get where he's coming from, but like, you need to not, like, you need to understand your role as well. Stop thinking about it.
I'm curious, Jay, why you
stop thinking about it.
We'll talk about the OP and ED in a bit.
So,
but yeah, Jay, why didn't you like Lu?
It just like the contrast, because like I really liked how Xiaoxi was very like emotional and he got attached to like everything going on. And it like really made his character feel more alive. Whereas with Lou, he just kind of felt like a stoic, straightforward guy. Like if like we just got like little like pangs of like, I wish I could do it, but no, you get like, you gotta. And I never like, it never really came across like that for me. It got better by season 2 for sure. But initially it was just kind of like a little flat.
Season 2 is like less time travel, I'll say. Just as kind of really like we'll move on to the plot stuff.
It sort of shifts gears from being kind of an episodic like slice of life borderline time travel story where there's kind of each episode deals with a different person and they're like it's like they run the shop and then each week a different customer comes in and they help them somehow.
Season 2 is kind of more of like a crime drama,
murder mystery.
Yeah.
And this is one of the most dramatic shows I've watched in a while.
Honestly. Okay, well, hold on though, Mike. You're tiptoeing around something. So Jay and I are having a dispute here about which character we dislike and which character we more identify with. Where are you on this? Do you like Lou? Do you like Chang? Who are you in this? Who are you, Michael?
I think it's fitting that you say who are you in this because I feel like Cole likes Lu Guang because he's similar to you. You're very like, I must follow the rules. The rules are the rules. Why would you not follow the rules, you flippin' idiot?
Well, I just he makes a good point where it's like there's consequences to not following the rules.
Oh, I agree. And then Jay is much more driven by his emotion, and that's Shang Xiaoxi for sure. I personally liked that's not the word I'm going to use. I'm not going to say I liked every single character in this because there's characters I flip and hate in this show.
Yeah, the second season.
But all of the characters in this show are great. They all feel believable. They all act in ways that you both wouldn't expect and do expect at the same time. It all makes sense. And I think that this really is a great character drama, and every character in this is great. If I had to pick between the two, I probably like Cheng Xiaoxi a little bit more because I'm a little closer to Jay on the spontaneity thing. I think he's a little more fun. And in the first season, I really wasn't sure if Lu Guang
is a good guy
or not.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something it sets up. And that's one of the mysteries of the first season because there's a lot of great little mysteries going on in here.
I think what I will say is it's probably easier for Lu Guang to be detached because he is detached. He is just observing. Right. Yeah. So I get that, but I also think like there are these rules in place that need to be followed.
But like at the same time, like I feel like, I don't know, just like from my perspective, I feel like a person would like see it and just like get some sort of reaction instead of just
I think he does,
like full on poker face. It's more observant in season 2 for sure.
Here's what
season 1, it like I didn't really get anything.
Like I think he sympathizes with Chang. Like there's a scene where Chang comes out and he's like rocked by what happened and he comforts his friend. But I think like where my dad used to watch like cold case files shows on A&E, right? If like I watch them and I can, I guess, separate myself. Listen, I'm a sociopath. I think that's what this comes down to. I can separate myself from it and just realize this is something that happened and we have a job to do in solving it.
I think the difference is
it's just different personalities.
Yeah,
right?
I think.
Yeah.
They're a great pair.
Listen, I'm just defending my boy. You're making him sound like a cold calculate, which he
that's kind of how I thought he was, and like I never thought of him as like a villain or like he was going to betray him, but like it didn't feel natural to me.
Yeah, it's definitely the main conflict in the first season, whereas the second season, like we discussed, kind of moves on to kind of an overarching thing. Other characters,
which I kind of liked because I think 24 episodes of just the slice of life stuff.
I think it would have been a bit much.
Yeah.
Even though I do, which season did you guys like better? I'm just curious.
Season 2.
Did you like the slice of life?
Big time.
Season 2 was season 2 for sure because they're actually I think they're both rated the same on AniList.
Yeah. I don't want to like get into it too deep yet.
No, we'll get into it in the plot.
Say, like I think the emotional highs of season 1, I got more of, but like the overall experience, I appreciated season 2 more.
I think I agree with you. I think the moments in season 1 had better moments, but the entire storyline of season 2 is better.
Okay.
And like I could see like which you prefer dictating like which one you'd like more.
Okay, we're talking about characters though. So let's yes. We've got other characters to talk about.
I'm trying to not like I'm trying to think about how we talk about more of these characters.
Well, I mean, like
kind of seemed a little flat until like a little bit in. I will say that.
That's what I was going to say. Our third main character would be Chao Ling. So she's the landlady. She's the person who,
and she's Zhao Xi's childhood friend.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say, like, what is she?
She's actually she's. I guess it's sort of spoilery, but it's not. She's basically like his adopted sister, I guess is what I would call her. They're like childhood friends, but
they've been so close that she like sees him as a younger brother.
Yeah, it's very like familial, and which kind of brings up one thing that I thought was kind of nice about this show too is like there is like these characters. There's like no fan service or anything in it. It's very all the characters act like real human beings, not like anime characters. And I think this show, because of the characters and because of the drama and stuff, would be a great gateway anime for somebody, especially that first season.
Yeah. If time travel is often a hard thing to sell.
Yeah,
they have to be a certain
person.
Like
stuff like Dexter, you know.
Yeah.
Like I think like I was thinking about that. Like if you like shows like that, this would probably be a good gateway for you.
Or like any kind of crime drama.
Type stuff. The first season is very procedural. It's very like, this is the case. We need to solve the case. Next case next week.
It's got the gumshoe cop who's a bit weary, down on his luck.
Best boy.
Man, he's such a great character. He's best boy. That poor guy.
I love
a couple
the cop.
best boys actually.
Yeah, he'd probably be who I would bring up next. So he's Zhao Li.
I never remember. I don't remember his name.
Xiao. Is that Zhao?
Zhao Li. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I feel like Genshin Impact prepared me for these names. just putting it out there. Same with Honkai Star Rail.
I'm just flying.
Thank
with
you,
it.
Hoyoverse.
Yeah. So okay, hold on. I was gonna maybe we could move on to another thing. Sub or dub, and I mean, there's 3 options with this one. Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got the original Chinese, we've got Japanese, and we've got English dub. So Jay, I already know what you did because I heard you watching it earlier. But to tell the audience, what did you listen to?
Yeah, I watched the original Chinese. I feel like, I don't know, I wanted to honor what the original was and see what that was all about. And I think it was good. Like I've never
takes some getting used to, but it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like 3D where like you need a minute to get your eyes to adjust. But yeah, like I've never really heard Chinese acting before, so like I can't really say like for certain if the acting was great, but like it never felt like something was off.
Yeah, I mean you can always like absorb like emotion from tones. So yeah, I see where that's coming from. You know, you want to. It's a Chinese anime, made by Chinese people, acted by Chinese people. That takes place in generic city, China.
Yeah,
I feel like when in doubt, it's always a good option to just choose the source language, right?
Yeah, Mike. That being said, what did you listen to?
You already know. I watched dub. And because this show has a great dub as well. English dub, not the Japanese dub. Interesting choice you bring up, Jay.
Yes.
Yes. As I push my glasses up. No, I watched the English dub. I started watching, I think we watched the first episode as a watch party in Japanese Japanese dub.
Yes.
And I thought it was fine too. Yeah. I know a couple people reacted saying, well, this is weird hearing this in Japanese, because I think they didn't advertise when they did the Japanese dub of it. It was pretty unavailable for a little while.
It still is. It's not on Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, maybe we didn't do that then. But I watched this one English dub. I thought it was good. I thought all the characters sounded good. The voice acting's top tier for a dub, I would say. It's up there. It's good. Yeah. What about you, Cole? Which route did you go down?
Well, I started the Chinese sub initially, and I went to dub. And the reason for that is not because of the acting, not because of not being. It definitely like it would take some getting used to listening to Chinese as opposed to Japanese or English. It was the subtitles that Crunchyroll had. This is a critique of Crunchyroll.
I noticed that, yeah.
They were a little too literal. Like they would, like, you know, like when you're talking, you say things like can't and won't. But they would type out the full on cannot, will not. It just felt very formal to me. And I was like, no, I don't like this. I don't like reading this.
It's not often we get a critique of the translation and subtitling, but in this case, maybe. Interesting.
Yeah, so I
will critique Crunchyroll's job too of not allowing you to have subtitles when you're watching a dubbed show.
Yeah,
because there's often times in this show where they will show someone's phone and the texts on it, and you're clearly meant to understand what it says, and they just don't translate it.
They did the same for the Chinese sub, by the way.
That goddamn photo, the back of the photo. I still don't know what the back of that photo says.
I thought it was
they
like
said
something
it at
like,
one point.
Yeah, at one point.
But I forget.
But yeah, I went to the dub, and the dub was good. I like the dub. I'm not a dub guy, you guys know that. But the dub was good. Yep. We got the typical what's his name? Sorry, I should have had the actor's name. The cop. I'm just drawing a blank on his name.
He's
Sabat.
Christopher Sabat.
Christopher Sabat.
Vegeta.
Normal, whenever he does a show, he plays two characters. They both sound the same. Thankfully, the second character he played was just kind of a background. I think he was just doing a incidental fill-in character.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty big at Crunchyroll / Funimation, right? So he just
and that character, I think it only happened in the first season. The second season, he was strictly the cop, and the cop is like a main character in the second season, whereas in the first season he's kind of a secondary. He gets introduced midway through the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the dub. The dub was good. That being said, what about like OST music?
I think that's one of the strong points of this show too. Is all the it has a lot of filler. What do you call it? Insert songs and stuff.
This show loves its insert songs. Yeah, and every second episode would have a different one. Yeah,
and they'd amped up the emotions perfectly every time for me as well. And the thing I'm always a sucker for too is something that this show does, where like as it's ending up, as the show episode's ending and it's reaching its climax, that ED starts playing right before, like as the final stuff that like the cliffhanger it's going to end on, and every episode of this show ends in a dang cliffhanger. It starts, and you're like, ED starts playing over it, and you're like, no, I'm so excited to, and then you have to just watch the next episode. It keeps you going.
Or go to bed.
I always appreciate
or go to bed.
Yeah, or go to bed.
Yeah,
and then
wake up and watch the next episode.
Wake up, watch the next episode.
This show does a great job of setting up cliffhangers.
For sure.
It's it's a master class in doing that. But I don't want to move on from music. Jay, what did you think of the OST in this?
I thought it sounded really good. The one thing that kind of took me out of it was like I'd heard some of the songs in other things, like other videos that had used them. So when I heard them, I was like, I've heard this before. This is where it's from, and it kind of like took me out of it. Which isn't a fault of the show itself, but rather like the circumstances of
just living on the internet,
living in planet Earth.
So
that was disappointing. But like the moments, like there was never, aside from that, anything that made me go like, that doesn't work. Like I think that the songs for the emotional beats were fitting of it. And it was good overall.
Yeah. What I would say about the OST, I thought the OST was good. The only, and I don't mean to be like the guy who's just nitpicking on everything. By the end of the show, like by the end of season 2, where we're getting another insert song, it almost took me out of it, like as a fourth wall break, to be like, here's another insert song.
And then the insert
that's
song
probably a problem more with me, where it's like, how many insert songs does this show have?
Yeah.
Where I'm questioning the production of it. I mean,
I could see for some people feeling like that, and I think that that's valid.
Well, yeah, it's just It's one of those things, like the insert of another insert song is
like the over-reliance
like how
on
many
insert songs.
How many insert songs does it have?
I would prefer that over the opposite, where they have one insert song and they just use it to death.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I think it's just the over-reliance on the use of the insert song that maybe I'd critique more than.
Yeah, it's definitely like a stylistic choice. They use the inserts a lot. And yeah.
Yeah, that would just be like my little nitpicky thing on use of insert songs. That's
valid.
It's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. If you keep doing it too much, it kind of loses its impact, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for like the cliffhanger endings to kind of lose their impact, but they sort of
they never do.
And that kind of brings I'm going to hijack Cole's little plan here a little bit. That kind of brings up something I wanted to talk about is this is an original anime.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is, when I think of an original anime, this is what I want. I want it paced properly for a 12. I want it for the episodes they have. I want it paced properly.
Mm-hmm.
I want every episode to end kind of meaningfully to keep you wanting the next thing. And I want like an interesting story with great character. This is the perfect original anime. And I just thought that was something to highlight too.
I like the confidence that this show had as well.
Oh, yeah.
The show ended its first season with a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
That's for an original anime. That's so
good
ballsy.
On him. Good on him.
Yeah, that's crazy. And even the second season kind of ended on a cliffhanger.
And it
too.
looks
Not as
like
big,
the budget on season 2 even went up. So like
it did.
Yeah. That's one thing I will say. Maybe we can move on to animation at this point, which that's a good segue. The second season to me was night and day better than the first season in terms of animation. It had great, like, it's got this one of the best hand-to-hand combat fights in like the second episode of the second season.
Which one, man? There's so many great fights in this show where it actually feels like, man, this is like watching two people fighting in like a movie, like an actual movie or something. It was fantastic.
I feel like the hospital fight scene was kind of the pinnacle, and it didn't reach that pinnacle at any point going on. I think it was well directed. It was long. I could tell what was happening. Whereas some of the fight scenes maybe later on, they didn't quite have the budget to reach that high again, which is no fault of their own.
I think for me, rather than animation, the thing that I preferred season 2 over season 1 was like it had a lot more of an artistic vision to it.
Mm-hmm.
With like its stylistic choices, its metaphors, its like there was like a storybook element to it that wasn't like that wouldn't have been done in season 1.
That was a cool little storyline.
Like
there.
There was one episode that was like done that felt kind of like its own feature film that was really interesting, and I'll get into that in another, or in the spoiler section, what I'm talking about. But like I feel like creatively season 2 is just like leagues better than season 1.
I agree. And I mean, they just obviously had the budget. They had the funds to be able to do it.
Well, and the other thing too is with a season 2 is you get season 1 to establish the characters and stuff, and because that's all out of the way and you're familiar with them already, they can just get right into it and just deliver,
well, I mean, the whole real point of season 1, if you look at the 2 seasons as like a continuous plot, season 1 is kind of to establish that idea of don't change the past.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
And season 2 is kind of its own story.
It kind of challenges that a little bit of like
maybe.
Yeah. And then season 3, if what we're seeing
we should say that season 3 is confirmed. I think it's supposed to come out late 2025.
Yeah.
So 2 years between seasons. I will say too that I felt like when I was watching this, I don't know if you guys got this vibe, but did you kind of feel like you were watching like the future of anime a little bit? Like, I know that feels a little like parabolic to say, but like, I don't know, like it just seemed like the whole thing was so well done and different from what you get in a typical anime that I really did. Like, I was sitting there and I'm like, is this what anime is going to become in the future, where like everything looks great, everything sounds great, you got a tight storyline, it's an original story that's not just trying to shovel you some video game or something and trying to sell merch and waifu figures? Like it felt like a truly great new idea, and I liked it.
I think it's the benefit of it being an OVA as well. Like, it's able to kind of take risks, which I appreciate. Whereas like an anime is like we have to sell.
I think anime is always going to be toyetic. To be fair, I think anime is always going to be toyetic. In like what?
Look at this guy using big words that I don't understand.
What the hell's toyetic?
Using designs or ideas for the sake of selling toys and merch.
Toyetic. I get it. Well, I mean, ultimately they're trying to sell things. I get that, which is what I mean. Like with an OVA is put online or sold individually. It's not necessarily meant to sell products, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks to say this, but we need to face facts. When we watch a TV show, the point of it is to sell us products.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It sucks, but that's the truth.
That is the truth. Yeah.
Whereas an OVA, that's not really its point. It's to sell itself.
Yeah.
That's what an OVA is doing. Or sell
and
the
it allows
studio.
for a bit more of a creative vision because of that.
Yeah.
I feel like this one was really kind of like Studio Lan trying to sell Chinese animation to the world a little bit to me. Yeah. That's kind of where I was going when I said I think this is the future, because we're already farming a lot of stuff out to the Chinese animators and stuff. I really feel like this is more will come out of this. Like this is like almost like a pilot for donghua in the mass market. Like if you would have asked me what a donghua was 2 years ago when this aired, I would have probably made a crude joke at you. You know, like I wouldn't have known what that is, and then here I am.
Yeah, no, I hope it is. I hope it's a harbinger of things to come, because I mean, as anime fans, we want risks taken. Yeah. Right? I mean, yeah.
As people who watch a lot of anime, at least, because I feel like if you watch like 1 or 2 shows a season, you don't care as much. Or not even if you're just watching like one show a year, even you don't care as much, right?
I mean, if you're listening to an anime podcast,
that's right.
You're probably in the same boat as us. You want good stuff. You want good stuff, and I think this is.
I did watch the Giguk review of this, by the way, and he brought up a funny point that, like, you know how people are always like, oh, you watch those Chinese cartoons when they're talking about anime.
Yeah. No, we're actually watching Chinese cartoons.
We're watching Chinese cartoons now, boys.
We are. Okay. Yeah. Next thing I want to discuss. We talked about music. We talked about visuals. Yeah. We pair those together into one super duper thing, and that's OP and ED. We were blessed with 2 OPs. We were blessed with 2 EDs.
Praise be.
I think
Lan.
Thank you. Thank you, Chinese cartoon Buddha. Jesus. First thing I want to do is, which do you prefer, first OP or second OP, Michael?
I preferred the second OP, I think. I liked them both equally. I don't think I saw a lot of people raving about how great they were, and I don't feel like they're like next level category for me, but I really enjoyed both of them. I will say the first one's more of a vibe. But I kind of just liked the visuals and like the direction of the second OP. Okay. Better. The first song is better though.
Okay. Jalian?
I preferred the first one. I think like the first one has so many little hidden details in it that like just made it more interesting. It felt like it knew what the show was supposed to be in terms of like symbolism, even like that little dance segment, like it felt like it had a point to it, with its own motif. And like, it just felt like it's, I feel like the first OP is more like for someone that wants to like break down and see like all the little details. Whereas the second OP is like for, those people who love animation. They love like seeing like great, well animated things.
Yeah.
And for me, I think the first one.
It's funny you say that. I feel like you could have just described the second OP with everything you said, but
the second OP definitely has it. I think like the second one has a bit more reliance on animation though, whereas the first one kind of more relies on the little hidden things.
Okay. And Cole, what about you? Oh, thank you for asking.
Yeah, Cole, what about you? Yeah, I knew you'd ask yourself. Don't worry.
I was asking myself. The second OP is a work of art. It's incredible.
It's
really
such a bold choice to do the song and then just reverse it, and the OP and then just reverse it. That's such a crazy choice, and I'm here for it.
And I mean the different animation and like chain, like what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like CG and 2D animation blended, but in a good way.
Like there's points in the OP where it's like painted. There's points where the transitions was the word I was looking for. Just cool transitions between scenes in the OP. The only thing I'll say about the OP is the title card at the end, like the episode title card, it will haunt me for the rest of my life.
I don't know if that's necessarily part of the OP.
the 3D character,
where they're like full
okay. I was
CG.
wondering. I was waiting for that to come up when they did the full CG, and then it's like I'm glad we brought that up because it was very weird. It took me out of it a little bit. And then they also had the thing at the beginning of the episode too, where it was like in season 2 where
media?
Follow us on social media before every episode. I was like, this is just weird. What is going on now?
I would skip the first 30 seconds on Crunchyroll because the first 30 seconds were like studio stuff. So I didn't. Yeah. Is that what they did? I know there was like a shot where they were like,
it was like a Billy basically studio tag for 20 seconds and then like 10-15 seconds of Lu Guang and what's his name, their black hair guy, and they just basically said follow link click on Twitter and Instagram, and then it was basically the gist.
I don't like that. Weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, but yes, the 3D CG right after the OP kind of took me out too. And me and Shazana, when we were watching it, we kept every time that Lu Guang would come up on the screen, we'd look at each other like and like put our hand on our face like he did, because it's just like who looks at someone like that? I couldn't
not look at like this part of the eye, like the tear duct section.
They all had really baggy eyes.
It was weird. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
It was a stylistic choice. I didn't have a problem with it. It just was. I noticed it a lot too. Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I just kind of laughed at it. Honestly,
it scared me a little bit.
It didn't bother me. It was just kind of like this is interesting.
Overall, I like the second OP more. I do like the first OP. Like it's I would say probably more iconic. We're throwing that word a lot. We're throwing that word around a lot today. But agree. Like with the hand dancing, this is me doing it. Is probably more like.
If the show had more traction at the time, it would have probably went viral. People doing the dance.
See, I felt that at the beginning, and but like I looked at it more, and there's just like little things about it that like there's a point to it.
Okay, you keep bringing that up, and I was gonna let it slide, but now I want you to defend that. What?
Okay, so what? all of their hand dancing is like very like square, as if it's like a picture frame or a box. Okay. I think it's supposed to be a picture frame. And like this idea of like they're creating a picture, making a picture, and using pictures to go back in time.
Okay.
I don't know. I could probably go more into this. It's just kind of on the spot, and I didn't really write.
Yeah, mine went blank. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
They're both packed with symbolism, right?
Yeah.
The thing above all is all the OPs and EDs for this show are and the characters are so drippy. This show is dripping in drippiness for sure.
Man, that's one thing I want to say is great. Chow Ling, her fits, great.
Yeah.
She's got great fits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say that.
All got great fits, man.
EDs. We have the counterpart to OPs. And that is the ending credits. Michael, what did you prefer? Season 1 or season 2?
I probably preferred season 1, but I thought they were again comparable. Like I didn't think of this one. This one, it was a lot even closer. Like I didn't really think either of them stood out that much, but I think the song that would come in before the ED actually played was better for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just more shock factor. I don't know, but yeah. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, I think like the dial tone stinger that like went into the ED kind of added to it.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. But like I think echoing what Mike was saying, like the song was kind of the thing that put it over edge for me. That was season 1's. I think like the stop thinking about it part, like it has its own quality to it where like you're not like, it's not, I'm gonna sound so pretentious here, it's not just a song, but like as kind of like that thing where like the ED's supposed to dry you off from like a water slide or something. The stop thinking about it, it's like, don't stress about it anymore, the show's over, just like move on.
Relax.
Relax. And I thought that was interesting. It sounds so like it's probably super coincidental, but like it just worked for me in that sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the first ED more. I just felt like there was more like film imagery in it, which was cool.
There was more of a film motif, yeah.
Yeah, and I just liked some of the animation choices that they made in the first one. The first song is better. I do just want to say I like the second ED as well. Like it's kind of like this like crime solving thing that they're doing. They don't do anything like it in the show, but it's kind of cool. Like it's telling this little story about them discovering a time machine at the end, which is cool too. Like it's kind of like an homage to like an old, I think it's the Time Machine from The Time Machine, like H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
Okay.
Which is, it's cool. I do just want to give it its due for that. But the first ED was more my speed, I think.
Yeah.
It had more cool stuff in it for me in my ooga booga brain. Yeah, so that's probably what I would say about that. Is there anything else you guys want to just point out before we kind of move on to spoilers?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that this came out in the same season as Odd Taxi.
Yeah.
What a crazy season of anime spring 2021 turned out to be, with like two big sleeper hits like this.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like similar genre, just done very differently too. It's very interesting.
There was one thing I wanted to point out, and that was, I don't know if you guys got this, but like the facial animation in season 1 had a bit of an uncanny valley aspect to it. Like it just kind of looked off to me. Like the mouth movement looked very weird. And by season 2 I was fine, but like season 1 it just looked very weird. Even like when we did our watch party, like I was like, this looks weird.
I don't know.
I wonder if that's like a dub versus sub type thing.
Yeah, any weird mouth movements I just assumed was because it was being dubbed in English.
Well, no, like it wasn't even like that. It wasn't like that the mouth flaps were desynced, but more just like it just looked weird.
Funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I didn't pick up on that, but I'm sure it did look weird.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that either. Yeah. I don't really have any. You have one more thing? No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just going to say I don't really have anything to offer other than like my finishing thoughts before we go into the spoilers.
Some spoilies. Yeah, like I wanted to bring up too that episode with the two women. I appreciate seeing some LGBTQ representation in here, and they tiptoe around it a little bit, but I think they make it clear enough, similar to like Witch from Mercury, where it by the end it's pretty clear what they're getting at, and they did it tastefully. I like that.
Yeah, it was, and I like that story. Like it wasn't really, there wasn't like any major, like nobody was gonna die in this one. It was just kind of like they were fighting for these two, like their relationship, which was a nice thing. It was nice.
It's funny though, like I get that and I appreciate that, but like in terms of like the overarching narrative of the show, I thought that episode 2 was the weakest one.
Probably. Yeah. I would agree with that, but I still liked it for what it was, like on its own.
Yes. Jay, when we were doing the watch party, you made a promise to me, and I need to know if you followed up on it.
Yeah.
How many tears did you shed while watching these two seasons?
Right.
Because you promised me. You promised me 0. And Jay did not cry. He's turning into a cold robot like us, Cole.
Yes. I did not cry either. Michael, did you cry?
I think I got misty-eyed a few times. Yeah.
Weak.
I'm not afraid to admit it like you guys.
Pathetic. Okay, Mike, please tell us your thoughts and how you would rate this show.
I think this show is a fantastic example of what Chinese animation can be. I think that it's a super underrated show that if anyone likes like Jujutsu Kaisens, if they love like crime stories, if they love time travel, if they just love well done, if they're just like me and just appreciate anything as long as it's well done, you'll love this show. I think there's a lot to like. There's a reason why it's the number one highest rated ONA of all time. There's a reason why it's the number 9 most popular ONA of all time. It's worth your time. Definitely check it out. I know a lot of people are scared away by the fact that it's not technically anime and maybe it doesn't appeal to them for that, but like give this a chance. It will really, it'll change your mind, and at least you'll be entertained all the way through. Even if it has a little bit, there are some janky things like the weird CG thing we brought up earlier, and maybe if you dig too deep into it, so there's some plot holes and stuff like that. But overall, it's a fun ride, and I think there's a lot here to enjoy, and I highly recommend it to almost anyone. I'm gonna have to remember what our rating system is, but it's a 5, whatever that is.
AniPro certified.
Wow. Yes, AniPro certified for me. You know what? This and Odd Taxi are probably in like my top tier of anime at this point. I love them. Yeah, they're great.
Good.
Who's next? Jay?
I am going to read final thoughts note so I don't go rambling. A good show for those looking for a thrilling time travel story. Well, I think some of the episodic beats were better than others. It is an overall great package that left an impact. I think if you like shows like Mike said, Odd Taxi, or the one that I compared it to, Erased. If you liked Erased,
yep.
Or if you wanted to like Erased but feel like it was lacking a little bit, I'd say check this out. If you are into anime for the waifus, this is probably not a show for you.
No.
I will say the landlady is I like her. She's fun.
Yeah.
Short hair for you. Yeah, you for sure.
I get it.
Shut up.
But like I don't know. I feel like there was a part of me on a more personal level that like it didn't really hit 100% of the time. There were some times where I felt like I was bored, and that was more so in the case of season 1. So for that, I think like I would consider continuing to see whether they would take the approach of season 2 where it's a more serialized narrative, or season 1 where it goes back to the episodic nature.
Yeah.
So consider continuing from Jay. All right, my turn. The glazing stops now, gentlemen. No, I like the show. It was good. I will say the biggest issue I had with the show was a pacing issue, and unfortunately I wasn't really able to get into it. In the second season, we were getting too many flashbacks by the end of the season where I was like, I just want to see how this story resolves. I don't want... We should have... These flashbacks should have happened earlier, which is just, I mean, that's something, hey, like it's an original show. Stuff like that happens. I'm not going to hold that against it because I did enjoy the show. I think it's very unique. I think it's well animated, especially in the second season. The dub is good. Subtitling needs work, but I think that's more on Crunchyroll than anybody. And I like the characters. I do really like the characters. And this was a show that really made me viscerally upset towards the end with just stuff that would happen. I don't mean like in a like, oh, I hate the show way. I mean like in a narrative way. Like there are characters in this that I loathe, and in the best way. Like there's villains in this show that are just like so hateable that I just wanted them to just like kill him. Please kill that person.
It takes great fiction to make you genuinely despise a character.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's what I would say. Unfortunately, it didn't tickle my jimmies per se, but I definitely want to see where it goes and see if it can fix my main issue would be the pacing issue. That would be the main thing. If it can do that, or maybe if I watch this episodically, like watch the one episode as it comes out, then perhaps I wouldn't notice it as strongly. But binging it, I definitely did, where we start a new episode and I'm like, I just want to see the resolution to something. It's nitpicky, but that's how I feel about it.
It's valid.
Yeah, but I would still definitely consider continuing, and I'm looking forward to the next season. Yeah.
Okay. And before we get into the spoilers section, I forgot we have some orders of business that I forgot that we have to do. We must declare a best boy and best girl. So quickly.
The detective and the landlady, obviously.
Detective for Cole and landlady.
We'll figure out the names after.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it out in post. We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
I'm gonna go. I think best boy. I'm gonna go with Chen Xiaoxi. And for best girl, I'm gonna go with the little sister in season 2. Okay. Her name is Lee something. And Jay?
Get ready for something that you just heard, but again, because my best boy was Cheng Xiaoxi, and my best girl is the little sister.
All right, okay. Well, I'm gonna defend Lu Guang. He's my best boy.
Okay,
I feel like
it from detective.
Yeah,
okay.
You guys aren't giving enough love to the white-haired boy. I like him.
Yeah,
I like him. Yeah. In my heart, I feel like that's the correct one.
In your heart of hearts, yes. Because you always pick the main character. Now, the second order of business that I forgot about is we have to react to some reviews.
Yes.
I put out to the Discord. I wanted to hear people's reviews. So Don't Sweat TT from the What Do You Say Anime podcast, I believe is the name. I hope I didn't get that wrong. Link Click is the best time travel anime since Steins Gate. A great mix of fun, mystery, and action that leads to a top tier cliffhanger, making you want more. 9 out of 10.
Since Steins Gate, I would agree. I still think Steins Gate's better, but
Steins Gate is just definitely better.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I like it better than Steins Gate for what it's worth.
Okay.
But it's just more my style, a little more emotionally packed. Super Mexi says Trauma Simulator the anime 9.5 out of 10.
I will say I thought it would be more traumatic based on
I thought it'd be more traumatic based on that impression, but based
on how much
it definitely hit. There are moments that are truly traumatic.
Honestly, the biggest hit for me was probably that episode with the friends. I felt like that was more emotionally impactful to me than people dying.
The basketball episode?
No. With the two the noodle girls, the girls making noodles.
Episode 2.
Yeah. Where at the end, like they like reconnect. It's that was more impactful to me than like I don't know. In the end the tunnel got me pretty good. How the second last episode ended, but we don't want to dive too deep into that. Okay, we'll talk about that after.
Yeah, some of the other unfortunate events.
The one I want to talk about is kind of spoilers, so
that's the thing is how do you talk about stuff like that without we're gonna get
mine was easy. It was the second episode.
One of the best mystery / thriller shows full of emotional elements that came out in recent times.
I wouldn't change anything about that.
Waifu.
That's I echo that.
Link Click is a Chinese masterpiece, and then the one above it says this Chinese animation is picture perfect. Well, almost.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yep. This is a Chinese animation program. Wow, 100% correct.
Wow, I agree. It is Chinese and animation.
I feel like you guys are mocking that a little bit, but it does. I feel like donghua have a little bit of like a. They need the attention. They need a little more praise and people to call attention to it.
I agree.
Even though it is a little cheesy to always bring it up. Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah.
We're done. Let's get some spoilers.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Let's get some spoilers.
Hold on. Before we spoil, I have to reveal what we're going to review.
Oh, yes.
Do you guys want to say? I'll bleep it out if you got it right.
Laid back camp.
Yeah, your camp.
Okay. I've got to bleep you both out now. It's laid back camp. Yeah. I just wanted, we watched this heavy show. Mm-hmm. Let's watch something very light, actually, I think we've got 3 months. In 3 months. I think Girls Last Tour is probably going to be pretty heavy based on some of the stuff I've seen. So doing Golden Boy and Laid Back Camp, that'll be That'll be relaxing for us.
It'll also be nice to watch shows that aren't too core.
Yes. Yeah. So Laid Back Camp, that'll be the last one before our next listener's choice, and we'll reveal listener's choice in probably the next few weeks at some point. But yeah, I think at this point I press a button that I forget about often. There it is.
Mm-hmm. Spoilers are coming.
It's time for spoilers.
Ooh, the scariest part of any episode, where we talk about spoilers in this show.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies. Maybe you know what, Jay? Maybe some people listen to this and they don't care about spoilers.
You know what? I got we put out the warning.
Nobody.
Well, I mean, you're just objectively wrong. Not everybody dies.
No. In fact, one of them almost dies, but then is saved by the hypocrite of the show, my best boy in Lu Guang, who turns out to be a hypocrite.
That's the biggest plot twist of the show, actually, is that when he actually is there and actually has to feel the emotions for himself, he can't even hold back from doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
That was the one part that redeemed him for me, but at the same time, it retroactively makes me go I wish he showed at least a little bit more emotion when he's like, no, you can't.
I think the thing that you have to remember too is that he's not feeling the emotions. He's coldly looking at things a computer analyzing the information for most of the show in the first season.
But it's not I'm not saying he's doing it thinking of the other people, but rather he's caring about his friend's feelings.
I think he does. I think he comforts his friend.
Yeah, he comforts him. But
I think he has that. It's easy to say I know it's hard, but you have to not change it, and actually doing it.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. But just this moment, I would have liked to see a moment of hesitation or something where he's like. And then
okay.
And then he's like, no. I'm not saying a full no, I'm gonna help you do this, but rather he hesitates and he's like, I want to help my friend, but no, it has to be like this.
Okay.
I think he's just maybe more of a strict person, and I suspect maybe as this series goes on that things will come out because they don't really delve into his past very much. I suspect in the past, because the other big reveal was that he can also dive into the pictures too.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, what?
Yeah. So if I had to guess where the story's going to go is in season 3, or I bet you we're going to get a little arc where it explains that maybe he went somewhere, he dove into a picture and changed something, and it had bad repercussions. Maybe even maybe he's the one who orphaned Chen Shaoxi. Who knows?
I think you know how in at the end of the scene in the tunnel, the sister's power is transferred over to the landlady.
Yeah.
So similar
That's
idea when Chen
Yeah.
Shaoxi dies, his power is transferred over to Lu Guang.
Oh. Interesting theory, Jay. And he retains the power even though he ends up saving him.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that, Jay. You're onto something.
Interesting. I like that we're able to theorize a little bit here. Any other spoilery stuff that you guys wanted to talk about that we couldn't? Oh, one of the deaths that really got me was, there's two. When the young detective who's expecting a child falls off the roof, that hit hard. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal. And then when the sister gets shot at the end there.
Yeah, just kind of unceremoniously. She just kind of... I felt bad for her plot wise because it's she's this cinnamon roll and then she just gets murked.
She just gets murdered. And I like how
for no reason
her character, and at that point, her character arc's done because she does talk by the end.
But I mean, out of all of the people there that the bad guy could shoot, he shoots the person who is going to make me hate him even more.
And I think narratively that was the correct choice.
Well, narratively, but why wouldn't he shoot any of the people who have powers? Whatever.
Well, I think he's probably planning on shooting all of them. Is probably what was going to happen.
That's true. And then he ran out of bullets. Yeah. One thing I want to say about him, the bad guy whom we all hate. I just want to say this: a police officer is not a lawyer. you can't just stop being a police officer and become a lawyer. Those are two completely different things.
In the Americas, yes.
Well, I mean,
I don't know how things work overseas.
Maybe,
I would assume,
but I mean, like a lawyer is someone who practices law.
Maybe it's a translation thing, and there's like a job title that doesn't exactly. Maybe he's more of a PI.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe.
So this is the one thing that bothered me. So they explained that you can only dive into a picture once, and once you leave it, you can't go back into it again.
Did they explain that?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I must have missed that because that was also on my list of things. Can they only enter once? Apparently, yes, they can. Okay.
So the thing I had was like Lu Guang takes one picture, and I'm like, why not just like.
Yeah, I know.
50,000 times. Just spam
One
pictures.
of the plot holes that brings up a plot hole I thought of too is like, what if while they're in there, like while he's diving into their memories, what if he just takes a bunch of pictures?
Yeah, it just keeps going back.
Yeah.
Back further and further and further. Yeah.
That's the thing. As soon as you start thinking too deeply about time travel, things get messy so
it doesn't
quick.
work.
My pros for this is time travel, and my cons for this is time travel.
Time travel. Yeah, it's a great thing because it always makes for an interesting story. But as soon as it gets even remotely into the weeds of the actual time travel, it's like you're playing on thin ice here, buddy.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I like season 2 so much more is they limit that power so much, and
because you're competing against another power user. Did you guys predict that there was another power user too?
Not in the first. I mean, by the end of the first season.
Yeah.
By the end of the first season, yeah, for sure, where it's pretty well implied that Qiaoling?
Chao. Oh
no, the girl.
Yeah,
the girl.
The girl,
she's clearly possessed.
Yeah.
Qiaoling. Yeah.
Sorry, Jay, I cut you off there. What were you going to say about the second season?
Yeah, I like how the second season just like limits that power. I was gonna say something else, I feel like, but
while Jay's thinking about that, I just want to say the fight scenes in this are great, but the end fight scene where they're all fighting and they're clearly losing to the big bat, the cop. I thought of a meme
guy.
Yeah, I thought of a meme that went around a while ago, and I just thought, why don't they just do this? So can I just play you guys some audio off of my phone?
Will we get copyright struck?
No, definitely. Okay. But I was yelling this at the TV while I watched this.
Okay.
Grab his dick and twist it! Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude. You twist that dick! Twist his dick! Twist his dick! Oh my god. Oh, dick twist!
Why didn't they just grab his dick and twist it? That would end the fight. I don't get it. I get it. Like they're trying to be honorable. But just kick him in the balls. Just kick him in the balls. Grab his dick and twist it. That's all. I was just. This guy does not deserve
a random thing.
This guy does not deserve not having his dick twisted. That would end the fight.
Or at least a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
There was one question I wanted to ask you guys, and it was related to episode 5.5. At the end of the episode, how did you feel? Like what was like? Because like they got together, right? Like
Cole obviously skipped it.
Did you skip it, Cole?
Why did you bring this up?
What do you mean? Why wouldn't you watch it? It's in the order.
Yeah, I'm
lazy
dumb
bastard.
Yeah,
I felt that
I thought it wouldn't matter, but it was basically just an episode.
It was just an episode.
Why did they not just? Why was it not just episode 5?
Yeah, I don't know. I did
and it was
feel
important
at the end of episode 5 to answer Jay's question. I felt that. I think maybe the reason they left it out or the reason they added it later, I don't know what the actual answer here is because it kind of didn't fit nicely where it was.
So,
but I don't know where else they would have put it.
That's not my question. My question was like, what was like, what were you feeling when like you watched
emotionally?
Yeah. Like, what was your emotional reaction to that ending?
It was one of the lesser ones, but I was like, I thought it was good. I don't know.
So my reaction when I saw that, I kind of got this like sense of dread.
Wept like a baby.
No, I did not cry, but I got the sense of dread. And it was because like, and I posted a video in our Discord, about like how stories use time to hurt you. And just like that thought of like, they go back in time to take control of this guy who wants to marry this girl who has to fight her martial artist master dad to be able to win her hand, and he fails, and Chaoshi tries and fails. And so the guy has been practicing martial arts for like decades to be able to do it. And like he finally succeeds, not because he beats him, but because like he acknowledges his grit. And like at the very end, when like they're both old, they can finally get married. And like that sense of like all that time that was lost that they could have had together.
Jay's gonna start crying right now.
I'm not gonna cry, but like
Jay doesn't cry anymore. He's no longer a crybaby.
No,
we've rubbed off on him.
But like all that time that was lost, that they could have had together because of a stubborn father.
Yeah,
and like I feel
that's
like
what hurts, right?
I feel like that was supposed to be like this happy scene of like, like they're finally
it's
together after
for
all
sure.
this time.
Yeah.
Which I'm not faulting it for feeling something different than the intention, because like it still made me feel something. But like it was just the one that stuck out to me.
I think that's the right reaction. I think it's supposed to be kind of bittersweet. Is like, man, you old fools, why did you waste all this time, you know? But they also kind of did spend their lives together too. But it's weird. It's a weird one.
But
for
like
sure.
not in the way that they probably wanted to, you know?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
You know? The last note I made that kind of bothered me was the absolutely outrageous, absurd amount of maniacal laughing towards the end of the show from all of the villains.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where I was like, oh right, I'm watching a show.
Yeah. like when he hugs the two kids. And
and then they start laughing.
All just start laughing.
The sister's crying, and then the kid starts like maniacally laughing, and then he starts maniacally laughing.
And then it cuts to
this is a show. Yeah,
like and then it cuts to them taking that job from the rich kid who is not paralyzed, and then they start laughing, and then the rich guy starts laughing, and he's like, he's laughing. That means he's going to take the job. It's like, don't draw attention to the fact that they're laughing. I know that.
Yeah,
it's bothering me. Yeah,
also, I think that guy was paralyzed, but somehow he could overcome his paralyzation when he was possessed.
Like, they kind of explained it with how Chaoshi's thing worked, where like it used the abilities of the person, like the capabilities of the person that was possessing, rather than the person that was possessed.
Yeah. It was kind of weird. They didn't really explain it too well. I felt it was.
I don't know. I don't trust them. I don't trust any of those guys.
Yeah.
Like how when he was good at basketball, when he's not good at basketball, and
yeah, that's true.
In the real
that's
timeline.
True.
Yeah.
And it just incidentally, it reminded me of something. The rich mom, who is not likable, says one of the smartest things in the show, where she's like, why would they put our son's funeral right next to the police officer's funeral? Whoever did that should be fired. I'm like, that was an oversight on the funeral home's part, for sure. Kind of silly, but nitpicky. That's what I'm here for.
I feel like it's you know what, we're doing a review. That's what nitpicks are for. Reviews are for nitpicking, right?
Yeah. But that was all the things that
I don't have much else to say. I don't think.
Episode 5.5. I just want to talk about it again because there was another nitpick I had, which was like it didn't seem like the power was like time sensitive. Like they could have done it at any time. So why not just like learn martial arts from the guy, and then once he's learned martial arts, use the power to go back to possess him so he could beat her dad. Yeah.
Why not? And it's the same. It's Jay. It's the same reason why with all of my nitpicks. Why didn't he twist it? Why didn't he twist his dick? Because if he did, the show wouldn't have been very entertaining.
So then the show wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
that's the thing is when you try to think of like
what would I do
too much. Yeah,
no one would watch what I would do. Why don't all the cops have guns? Well, because we don't get sweet fight scenes then.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. But
I think episode 5 was kind of a bit of a weird episode for many reasons. I think maybe after they did it the one time, I don't know if they felt the need to do it again, if that makes sense. I think he maybe acknowledged that he couldn't beat him.
Well, I thought
And
like
then
in that episode, that's when they acknowledged that they could only enter the thing once.
Oh, it was in that episode. Jesus, I should have watched this episode. Like, what? Why would they list it as an OVA? If it's listed as an OVA,
I mean, Crunchyroll
the whole thing is an ONA.
No, I know, but like, why isn't it? If it's listed as like a 0.5,
it might as well just be part of the show.
Then I think it's an optional episode, and then I get to season 2.
Watching too, because do you know those old people in the hospital in season 2 when they're fighting the people?
And I know that that's them. What I will say is I didn't watch 5.5. I just fast forwarded through it, so I recognize these characters as the people.
You're a
from
monster.
That.
Is really the answer.
I truly am. All of the listeners, all of the things that I said about this show that are negative, you can just disregard. Completely disregard them.
You didn't watch a whole episode. It's like when Jay didn't watch the last 2 minutes of Toradora.
You know what? That's exactly right.
A whole episode and 2 minutes are two completely different things.
That's exactly right. Jay and I are equally to blame here
both
in this
monsters.
case. Yeah, we're both monsters.
I'm a patron saint wearing my
Turns
Ichiraku
out that
ramen
all I
t-shirt.
missed was the ED.
Well, I mean, whatever helps you sleep at night, Jay.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast. You can follow us on social media at AniProPod. We're everywhere.
Links are in the description.
Leave a like, review, subscribe, give us 5 stars, tell a friend about us, please. Links to everything's at our website, AniProPod.com. One of the links there, incidentally, is our Discord. Come join our Discord. It's a lot of fun over there. We got watch parties, games, and you can talk to us. That's probably the best way to talk to us. Yeah, good stuff.
Between the 3 of us, one of us is always creeping around in the server.
One of us. Yeah, we're basically, we run on a 24-hour clock because by the time Jay goes to bed, Mike's waking up. So one of us is always awake.
We're always there.
It's genuinely true. Yeah, it's genuinely true. Go to the Discord, talk to Jay at 2 a.m. You won't find me there at 2 a.m.
No,
I work the night shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can also support us on Patreon if you really like us and you have the ability to do so. You get an early episode, bonus episode, extra votes and stuff. You get a special chat in the Discord and priority mailbag. You also get your name read by me every week here on the episode of AniProPod right now.
Let her rip,
at this point. This is where I read the names.
Right
and
now,
they start
from this point on at this very moment.
Yeah.
This is the beginning.
Let me shoulder this burden for you this week, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Braindead B-Dog, Super Mexi, Peach, Frama, Kratos, Just Juzz, Mogmug, and of course, Firen's Feet.
Yes, that was weird to listen to. It was weird being on the receiving end of the list.
You're welcome. Yeah. Do you feel like your load's been lightened? Do you feel like I took a load off your shoulders?
I feel light and airy.
I forgot to talk about the cum stain.
Oh.
Well,
Jay just had to say it one more time.
Yeah, he had to.
Cole bleeped it, so
come to the Discord to ask Jay about his
spoiler
obsession
alert
with that.
I probably forgot to bleep it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll. You know what, Mike? Because you read the list, I'll get us out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the end. My dearest friends.
Like just in general, this is the end.
Yeah, this is the final episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast.
Go watch Princess Mononoke.
We'll be back next week. We're going to review Princess Mononoke. But we say, as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast, bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.